Lack of Space, the Vinyl Frontier. These are the voyages of the vinyl community, our ongoing mission to get all the records, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Greetings, vinyl community. This will be a little video of February vinyl finds. And I thought I would start off in keeping with that spacey intro with a very cosmic album, a Tone Poet Blue Note release from last year, The All-Seeing Eye by Wayne Shorter. This is a very ambitious conceptual construction because the all-seeing eye is no less than the eye of God, and the conceptual underpinnings of this album have to do with basically the creation of the universe. The titles of the tracks are The All-Seeing Eye, Genesis, Chaos, Face of the Deep, and Mephistopheles. And in keeping with the kind of biblical associations of the creation concept, there's a very godlike band appearing here because we've got Freddie Hubbard on trumpet and flugelhorn, Gratian Moncur III on trombone, James Spaulding on alto, Wayne Shorter himself on tenor, Herbie Hancock on the piano, Ron Carter on bass, and Joe Chambers on drums, and a guest appearance by Wayne Shorter's brother Alan Shorter on flugelhorn. This is, in keeping with its ambition, a very advanced and experimental piece of jazz from 1965, yes, October 15th, 1965, of course, recorded at the famous Van Gelder Studios, and you get the nice Tone Poet session photographs inside. Great album. More great jazz from Don Cherry, something in the more free vein. Where is Brooklyn? This is a Blue Note classic release. And Don Cherry on cornet is accompanied by no less than Pharoah Sanders on tenor and piccolo. Henry Grimes on bass and Edward Blackwell on drums. So it's very much a sort of an Ornette band with Ornette replaced by Pharoah Sanders. Very free and experimental jazz. And speaking of Ornette, here's an album where Ornette Coleman is collaborating with Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny gets top billing, but it's really more of an Ornette Coleman album. He wrote the pieces, some in collaboration with Pat Metheny, others solo compositions. It's, again, an Ornette-oriented band with Charlie Hayden on bass, Jack DeJohnette and Donardo Coleman on drums, and Pat Metheny on the guitar and the guitar synthesizer, Ornette himself playing alto sax and violin. Got a nice selection of session photos on the back. Beautiful embossed lettering on the cover. It's got a very ECM-like look, but it's not from ECM. It's a Geffen release. And the pieces really do feature the naughty approach to composition. It's very much in that harmonic vein that characterizes Ornette Coleman's work, and Pat Metheny is just following along by the skin of his teeth, because they're pieces where you're not going to get everybody really locked in. It's got that looseness intentionally built into it, and if you want to hear Pat Metheny in a more experimental and less smooth context than on a lot of his solo records, that's a really good one. Some spiritual jazz from Angel Bat Dawid and the Brotherhood live, an album recorded live in Germany and in Angel Bat Dawid's own home turf of Chicago. Angel Bat Dawid plays clarinet as well as vocalizes, and she is very influenced by Sun Ra and the orchestra, and performs some Sun Ra pieces on here. It even opens with an interpretation of Sun Ra's enlightenment. God, I don't have the obi stuck on. I like to be able to see the whole cover. Very Afrocentric, Afrofuturistic approach to spiritual jazz, very ecstatic vocalizing, very cathartic, expressive, expressionistic vocalizing on this. And one more in the jazz realm from François Tusk. Alors Nosferatu combina un plan ingénieux, or then Nosferatu devises an ingenious plan, with delightful cover art there by the legendary underground comics artist Von Bodhi. This is archival material from 1969, tapes that were just sort of left in storage all these years, and it's not entirely clear who performs on them, but this is a large jazz group playing very free, very much the sort of thing you might hear on a BYG release from the period. Apparently some of this material was released by Shandar back in the day, but this is the first time that this particular performance has been released. Very free and cacophonous, and as I say, very good if you're interested in the free jazz of that period, which was sort of the golden age of that sound. Now some great prog rock from 1976, Camel. One of their very best albums, Moon Madness. This is the US edition, which has a different cover. I believe the UK edition had this artwork on the outside. We get it in the gatefold. Then a photo of the band showing this as the last album by the original quartet version of Camel before bassist and vocalist Doug Ferguson left. But the real star on here is keyboardist Pete Bardens, who's just wonderful throughout. Great, great keyboards. This is just really sweet, enjoyable prog rock. A couple of nice long epics on side 2, Airborne and Lunar Sea. Airborne, it has sort of a bonus to it. You can tell they'd been listening to the Beatles, I think. There's a riff that inescapably reminds one of a theme from a certain Beatles record, and the song's title is not unrelated to the title Airborne. So there you go. Finally, Humble Pie, classic live album from 1971, performance Rockin' the Fillmore. It's got the little die cut so you can see the custom labels showing through. Not an original copy though. I didn't even spot that it was on the later A&M label. Still nice. This is a really great jam album. It's a great album to jam along to. I've enjoyed playing along with the music on here with these lads. 2, not one but 2 side-long tracks on this double LP. Side 2 is taken up with a 24.5-minute rendition of Dr. John's I Walk on Gilded Splinters. And side 3 is taken up with Muddy Waters' Rolling Stone. Funny little anomaly is that they've got on the cover, Rolling Stone is credited to Waters, arranged by Humble Pie, but on the label it's credited to Chester Burnett, which is not Muddy Waters' real name, that's Howlin' Wolf's real name. So I don't know how that got there. But just really good classic hard rock and a lot of guitar jamming. And that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Be well. Talk with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.